Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dalton from the Petrol List, and I've got to get my 2025 Formula One season predictions in place and published in the public domain because the first race, the Australian GP, is coming up quite quickly. So I gotta hurry up and get this done. So you only get this opportunity once a year. So let's talk through it. All right, I am going to go by teams, and then I'm also going to go by drivers within those teams, and I'm going to write those down. My apologies for the bathrobe, but we got to get this done. We got to get it done. All right, so in terms of the constructors, I'm going to say Williams. Williams was very impressive, and I don't know if you saw it during testing, so I'm putting them as number 6. Because they did well in testing. That doesn't always necessarily translate into race wins, but I don't think that they are going to be slouches. They are not going to be Stake or Haas. They're going to be Williams, and Williams has a great racing pedigree, great Formula One history. So Williams is going to be number 6 in the World Constructors Championship, and Carlos Sainz is going to have 1 win. I've got Sainz for 1. Albon, unfortunately, is going to have 0 wins. And number 5. So I think Aston Martin was actually number 4 last year, but with all of the different teams kind of in flux right now, I think that Aston Martin is going to be number 5. And I think that Alonso is going to have 1 win. And of course, I think Lance Stroll is going to have 0. Now, Red Bull. I'm giving Red Bull number 4. And I know that's crazy considering the seasons that they've had, but they lost Adrian Newey. They've been in, just in a funk. I think Red Bull's been in a funk. They even got booed at the F175 event. So for those reasons, and also the fact that the Red Bull is still understeering really badly, and Max Verstappen prefers a car that is razor sharp on the front axle, I'm going to give Red Bull 4th in the Constructors Championship. Verstappen is going to drive that car masterfully. He's going to win 3. I'm just going to spell Ver because I don't really have time to spell it all the way out. And then I'm going to give Lawson I'm going to give Lawson 1. And then in the Constructors' 3rd place for the season, I'm going to put Mercedes. I don't think that Mercedes has solved the problems that they had over the last 3 years with the ground effects era cars, but ironically, I feel like I heard somewhere that Mercedes finally took on board the feedback, the critique that Lewis Hamilton was giving them, and I think that is going to give them a good car because they always have a good power unit. So I think this year they're still going to have a good power unit. They're just going to have a little bit better aero and better handling. So I'm giving Mercedes number 3 in the Constructors Championship. Russell is going to win 3. Antonelli is going to win 1. I think Antonelli is a G. I think he's going to have a great future in Formula One, but I think, it's his first year. And, the Australian GP, I hear, is going to be extremely wet. So who knows? Who's going to, come on top there. Okay. Let's get into number 2 and number 3. Number 2. This is difficult. This is very difficult. I think that number 2 is going to be Ferrari. And oh my gosh, I already wrote it down, so I have to stay with it. I wrote it down so that I couldn't him and haw during this episode. I wrote down that Charles Leclerc is going to win 2, so Ferrari is going to be 2nd in the Constructors Championship. I put Lewis Hamilton as winning 3 races, and Charles Leclerc as winning 2. I have to be honest, I'm not sure how much I believe that. It takes a while for any racing driver to come on to a new team, get used to the car, get used to all the procedures, the politics, all that kind of stuff. And so in my heart of hearts, I think that Charles Leclerc is probably going to, in my heart of hearts, I think he's going to win more. But I can't underestimate the magic of a 7.5-time world champion who is still young enough to drive well, be in shape, and all that kind of stuff. He seems razor focused, so I think he's going to win more than Charles Leclerc. They're neck and neck. They were neck and neck in testing in terms of who is, faster in the 2025 Ferrari car. And I gotta say, Charles Leclerc has been with Ferrari for 7 years, and Lewis Hamilton has only been there for like 7 minutes. The fact that Lewis Hamilton is just as fast as Charles Leclerc in a Ferrari that he just got introduced to bodes well for him winning. See how that ends up in race pace. And of course, that means that in number first position in the Constructors Championship, we have McLaren, and I have Lando Norris winning 6 races, and I have Oscar Pastry winning 3 races. I hope that adds up to 24, but those are my predictions. Those are the winners that I think that I think that's gonna happen. I think I might take a picture of this whiteboard somewhere and just put it on my Instagram. That way at the end of the season you guys can come back and look and laugh and see how wrong I was. I was very wrong last year. You'll have to go back in time, and well, you don't have to go back in time. You can stay in the current era and then go watch one of my older videos to see what's going on. But in summary, we have got Williams in 6. Should have been Alpine. Alpine is betting heavily into 2025. Okay, we've got Williams in 6. We've got Aston Martin in 5th. Red Bull in 4th, Mercedes in 3rd, Ferrari in 2nd, and McLaren in 1st. And Lando Norris, I don't think that he has a chance. I don't think that he has a chance to win after this. I think between Verstappen, whether he's at Aston Martin or Red Bull, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli. In 2026, we don't know what kind of cars these teams are going to have and how competitive they're going to be. But if Lando is going to be a Formula One champion, he's got to do it now. He's not the underdog. He's the favorite. Lando, my friend, you have to drive to survive. That sounds terrible. Speaking of to survive, I don't think Yuki Tsunoda is going to be at VCARB for much longer, sadly. But again, it happens. All right, those are my predictions. I've been Dalton. You have been great. And this has been the Petrolist. That was a little bit out of order, but I had to get this done. Hence the bathrobe. All right, I'm out.